What's up, friends? Coach Ed here.
Hey guys, Coach Mike.
We wanted to just, that's an awesome face, Mike. uh,
It's the internet.
it's the interwebs. So, Mike and I were just actually talking about just our different situations in terms of our own progress with our fitness. And on the surface, both of our struggles and what's kind of coming easy to us, both seem very different. But the common theme that we landed on was that we're both doing less to get more. And it's actually something we've been talking to a lot of our members about. So, Mike, do you want to maybe just share a little bit about how you're taking that concept of doing less to try to get more out of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the biggest mistakes people make is they just, and I've made this mistake too. So I don't think it's anybody's doing anything inherently wrong. But the obvious idea is that like doing more is the only way that you're going to get more results in fitness. And I think ever since Ali Gilbert came to speak, that's when I've become more comfortable with really leaning on nutrition to help me towards my goals and allowing fitness to be like I don't want to say secondary because I don't make nutrition like my primary goal either necessarily, but I'm working on it. But being comfortable doing a little bit less because you're going to do actually more for your body if you're not overtaxing it, right? So before we had to go into quarantine, I was getting probably 4 workouts a week, sometimes 5. And I was feeling pretty good. Plus, at the gym, we're walking a lot. Like I get about 2,500 steps a session when we're working on the floor. So definitely the first day, and Ed was talking to Brandon about it yesterday. Most of my first days at home were spent horizontal. So every meeting that we went into, I pretty much did not have my hair done, especially the morning meetings because it's just hilarious to
There was
show
like
up to
a
those meetings with just hair.
there was like a
Yeah, it was just chin
blanket up to here, like phone
and
right
belly.
here.
Oh yeah, it was bad. So my strategy now is trying to get 3 workouts. And talking about getting more out of doing less, uh, I think I've kind of come to a point where I'm okay doing more walking if it means I'm going to get to my goal, right? So, 2 things I've been just that's helped me stay motivated for workouts. I still want to get those 3, but like I said to Ed before we went on the call, I think if I got 2 workouts in a week and I still got to practice the skill that I'm working on, which is single arm swing, I would be totally happy. One of the reasons that I wanted to make sure that I kept exercising was because it's a huge stress reducer for me. When I feel like I'm not when I don't get my actual workouts in, like Ed prescribes me like 3 workouts a week just for like that mental clarity. But the walking has been really awesome. So if I don't do those things, like pretty big mood swings, and the biggest thing recently has been sleep. So sleep has been really erratic for like 2 or 3 weeks, waking up for like an hour, hour and a half in the middle of the night, and that never happens to me. So between the walking and the workouts, um, it's helped a lot, and I feel like I'm in a comfortable position now where if I got 2 workouts in a week and I walked every day, I would still feel comfortable. I would still feel comfortable in my own skin as opposed to if I didn't get like 4 before we came into quarantine, I might be like, oh man, like I don't know, like I didn't do enough this week and not feel comfortable.
Yeah, and for Mike, when we were doing weekly nutrition calls before I guess we got locked down, and for Mike, when I asked him if he wanted to start him again, he's like, no, like I'm doing what I need to do. I'm pretty good with my calories. Like I'm hitting my workouts. And he had previously in a conversation mentioned like, but I'm not sleeping and I'm stressed out of my skull. So for him, like it's a common I've noticed it with quite a few members where I'm having to convince people to just scale back a little bit. And like Mike said, he's okay with doing 2 workouts. He was hitting 3 to 4 consistently, and just because he took that time to actually have the trust and have the confidence to double down on stress reduction, then he was able to start to notice when he felt good and when he didn't. And now because of that, that's a big part of what he just mentioned, where he's okay if there's a week where it makes sense for him to go down to 2. So like if anyone out there is in the same boat, like hopefully you can relate to what Mike's doing. It's like crushing the workouts, but noticing he wasn't getting to his goal and just being willing to give up any part of the process instead of being emotional about it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of you guys are I have a bunch of names in my head right now who are people who are there 4 or 5 times a week when we were at the gym. So, try to figure out a way to stay active. Hitting that 7,000 step goal is important, but pay attention to how you feel. Like, do you feel anxious? Do you feel too tired? Like, are you eating enough? There's different things that you can troubleshoot, but try to break that mindset that you have to keep working out to offset, your food choices or whatever. Unless like me, exercise is part of your stress reduction process.
And just understanding that like intense strength training and conditioning work is a stress on the body, and that's the thing that Mike's talking about, where he's just being unemotional about it and just trusting what works so well for our clients and just applying it to himself.
Yeah.
And I said in the beginning that we want to just kind of contrast mine and Mike's situation. So like Mike mentioned like a day, a couple days in the beginning where he was just like not really into anything, but you got pretty quickly into your workouts. Whereas myself, the first two, the Saturday and Sunday, the first day that we weren't operating out of the gym, I did 2 full workouts. And then after that, like, it was like, I don't know, it was like pulling teeth. Like, I didn't want to do anything. And I know when that happens because I'm in a place where I really actually want to work out and I want to make progress towards my goal. There had to be something off. So I was sleeping. My nutrition was actually not like it was on point, but I was eating enough calories, getting enough vegetables, getting enough protein. So I realized I just had to do actually literally do less. So I would just commit to less. I would commit to doing the warm up. And then if by the end of the warm up, there's actually been a couple times in the last few weeks where by the end of the warm up, it still felt like a chore. So I just stopped. Like most people, if you can commit to just taking that first step, it's less of a mental burden. And more times than not, you're going to end up then going at least into a little bit of a workout. So I started with 3 movements, and even that felt like a chore. So I just kept saying to myself, okay, do less, do less, do less. It's like the scene in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where Paul Rudd's teaching him to surf. Where he's like, pop up. No, you're doing too much. Just pop up. No, now you're not doing anything. I'm a movie paraphraser, so I just ruined the quote. But just peeling back and doing less and less, right? So I eventually landed on two movements. And all of my workouts for the last 2 weeks have just been a combination of 2 movements. And it doesn't matter if you're like, you don't need an exercise physiology degree to decide which 2 movements to do. You can literally just pick 2 that feel good. You could take it a little further and do an upper body move with a lower body move. You can also take it even a little further and have a move that, say, complements the primary move. So like one of my favorite combinations right now is an open half kneel windmill, like down in the forearm, which is, for those of you that don't know that, it's a part of the get up. And I'll do that with a single leg deadlift. There's other combinations in there too, but it's okay if you just pick 2 random movements. And if you just keep peeling back until you land on something that mentally is actually something you can tolerate.
Yeah, I think one thing that's going to happen when you do that is I think it's one of the things that a lot of people that I like to talk to people about is like making the time just for yourself. Like it doesn't matter that the workout is 2 moves for Ed, like he's taking the time to exercise, and that's important. And it's going to help him towards his goal. It doesn't mean that it has to be a crazy workout because there's other things that he's doing on the back end to help him. So the exercise is something that he likes to do, and if it feels like a chore, then you're not going to do it. But breaking it down into two parts is awesome. It makes it compact. It doesn't take up a lot of your time. A lot of you might be dealing with time crunches right now. We were talking to some clients yesterday in small group, and they have to do work. Their kids are having to be homeschooled. So time might be a factor, and one of the reasons that you don't feel like taking the time to do it, or maybe it feels like a chore. So chunking it down to like a 30-minute workout is not a bad thing because it's more about getting in the habit of continuing to do something for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I was talking to one of our clients yesterday, actually, and just telling them to try out different strategies. So I don't like to work out at the end of my day. There's some people who that works well for them. I don't know if it's just because my day is based around fitness and then committing to doing more fitness doesn't work. I'm not sure. But this client is also someone who was like a early morning kind of person. And I told them, try before work and then try immediately after work. and just play around with it. Like if you're committing to doing less, so like two ways that I've been structuring my workouts are either those two movements and then just doing like less reps. So doing like 5 reps per side and then just committing to only doing 2 rounds, right? So what I told this person was start there and then see how you feel. If you're doing it before work and it helps you get it in, but then you're pissed off every time because you had the motivation to do the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, then you can try out trying it in the afternoon. All of this, when there's new circumstances, is just about really just peeling back, committing to doing less, because doing less is better than doing nothing, and then just trying, being okay with tweaking the strategy and being okay if you don't hit bullseye in the first shot.
Yep. Like one of my favorite Coach Ed quotes, put it on the screen. It's one habit at a time, not one try at a time.
Most times people quote me on something, I forgot that I said it. There was a time
classic.
up front with Sam Buckley. I still can't say Bosco. It doesn't roll off the tongue for me. But Sam of whatever B last name, we're up front and she's telling me about she's like, all right, I know what I'm gonna do to break through this hurdle, and she rattles off like a strategy with like a 3-step process. I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. Where'd you learn that? She's like, really? You taught me that.
Did you like last week?
Yeah, I have the short-term memory of a goldfish. So
space-time continuum.
Exactly. So with our rambling aside, the overall point here is everybody's going to have a different thing they're doing really well with, and everybody's going to have different things they struggle with. And whatever that thing that you think should be your next step, right? So Jenna and I were just working on our workshop, our Saturday workshop series we're doing, how to get healthy and fit at home. And the one big thing that we were, I'm getting distracted here. Lainey says hi. It was actually hey guys. I don't know why that just popped up. I think that was a little while ago. Hey Lainey. But one of the big things that, were you trying to like swipe to the next screen?
Fast.
But one of the big things that we were just talking about is it's the same thing with nutrition, and it's okay to not only do less, but like really pick the lowest hanging fruit. All right. So for me, fitness is the gateway that allows me to get into my nutrition and my recovery and my sleep. So for you guys out there, pick the one thing that typically is the easiest thing to influence you to make other good choices. But then when you find yourself falling short, just keep on peeling back until it's something that doesn't feel like a mental chore. So whether that's your fitness, your nutrition, focusing on tracking something, it's okay if you don't hit the first try. Just make sure you land on something that allows you to get some forward momentum.
Well, thank you for watching, my friends. And tomorrow, we are going to continue to just crush this silly show. We are excited about it. Tomorrow we'll have Coach Jenna joining us at 3:00. So there'll be 2 dry fellows and an exuberant young lady joining us, and it'll be a lot of fun. So check back in tomorrow to learn about some of the stuff they talked about last weekend in their Getting Fit and Healthy from Home seminar, and what to look forward to this coming weekend.
Yeah, Jenna. She's a gypsy. Real life gypsy. So, friends, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you tomorrow.